SQL injection. Today we will see SQL injection. Now first, what is SQL injection? SQL injection is a technique used to take advantage of non-validated input vulnerability to pass SQL commands through a web application for execution by a backend database. So basically this SQL injection is using the vulnerability of non-validated input, where web application or web developer has not fixed the problem and it has the problem of input validation, non-validated input. That means where we can put any input and the input is not validating. Then SQL injection is a basic attack used to either gain unauthorized access to a database or to retrieve information directly from the database. And it is a flaw in web application and not a database or web server issue. Remember, the problem of this attack, the vulnerability is basically on web application. It is not on the database server or it is not on the web server. Database server's job is to just provide the data and web server's job is to host the web application. Now, if the web application is not properly designed and it has not fixed the problem of input validation, then what? We can have this vulnerability of SQL injection. Now, why bother about SQL injection? Why we should bother about it? What the attacker can do with this? Now, on the basis of application used and the way it processes user supplied data, the SQL injection can be used to implement the attack mentioned below. These are the attack. First, authentication bypass. Using this attack, an attacker logs onto an application without providing valid username and password and gain administrative privileges also. Then information disclosure. Using this attack, an attacker obtains sensitive information that is stored in the database. Then compromise data integrity. An attacker uses this attack to deface a website, insert malicious content into web page or alter the content of a database also. Then compromise availability of data. Attackers use this attack to delete the database information, delete the logs or audit information that is stored in the database. Then remote code execution. It assists an attacker to compromise the host OS. Now host OS, that means the OS which is hosting the these database servers. So attacker can execute the commands on these database servers also, the host operating system of the database server. So these are the problems and type of attacks we can say, and it can cause these type of vulnerabilities, these type of problems. So how web application works? Very simple. This is the simple way that the application works. Like, we have a web server, we have web application, and we have database. We have three things. We have web server, web application, and the database. Now, web application mostly installed on the web server itself. So web server is hosting the application, and we have database in another server. Now there is an option. If suppose the organization is not that big organization that can support, or they might not have the big databases, so they can use what? They can use a web server. On the web server they can create an application, web application, and on the same server they can install the database also. So it can be in a single machine or it can be in a different machine also. So it can be in a single machine or can be in a different machine. But if it is actually secure when you are using it on the local machine. So it is secure when you are using it on the local machine where you are actually having the web application. In that case, what? You will not have to send a request for the query to other server, and the attacker will not able to do the man-in-the-middle attack in that case, because the application and the server, the database, is also in the same server. But it is not recommended to have the both the things on the same server. because your application is on the web server, and web server is handling the application itself. Now if you are having a large database, that database, if you install it on the same server, that means it will be a more job to do. That means this single server has to manage the application also, and also has to manage the database, and sometimes databases are very big, so it can lead to a problem, and it can lead to the server get slow. So what we have web server, web application, and database servers. So the SQL injection runs on this, SQL injection attacks runs on the database servers, but it is not a problem of database servers, it is basically problem of web application. So it is a basic problem of web application, which is not validating the input which is coming from the a user, or we can say any user, not an attacker, any user. So users give the input from here, like whether user wants to get some information, user wants to log in, or any kind of data. So the request will go through the internet firewall or anything, it will reach the web server, and web server do what? It will forward the request to web application. Now web application's job is to provide the process the query and provide the result. Now for processing the query, all the results, all the data is stored into the database. Now in the databases, what we have, whether we have any kind of database, what we have here, we have a databases. In those databases we have tables, and in the tables we have rows and columns, like this you see in the image. You have rows and you have columns, and in the rows and columns it stores the data. For example, if you see in this image, in the row we have the columns of ID, topic, and news, and in the ID column we have different IDs for different topics here. So ID number will be there in the ID field, ID column, then the topic will remain in the topic column, and the news will remain, the actual news or message will remain under the news column. So databases, these databases stores the data in this format, in the rows and column format. Now to get the data, or to store the data, to modify the data, in this database servers we have a specific language, and that language is called SQL. It is called structured query language. This language is used to create databases, create tables, update tables, add entries into the table, remove entries to the table, and also get information from the table. And for that we use these kind of queries. So what happened when user gives the input, or suppose user wants to get some news. Now this table, for an example, this table is about newses. So it is having a news in every news column. In each row it has a different news, and those news divided by the topics, and each topic has each news has its unique ID also. So when the browser, when on the client browser, when the client clicks on some news, so what happened? The query will be generated here, that a request will be generated here saying that I want to get this news, and you can see it in the URL. It is saying that the news related, the ID is related to that news. It is saying that the ID is 6329. Now that request will go to the web server, and web server forwards the request to application. Now application will do what? It will actually create the query here. In the application developer is created, it is configured the query here. That means when suppose the request come for this ID or any ID, so application will generate the query like this. It says select star from news table, and where the ID is equal to this. Now this ID number is given from this client browser. That means the input is coming from the client browser, and the browser is saying that this is the ID number. So the query is already crafted here in the web application. It just enter the ID number there, and then forward the query to database server. Now database server will execute the query, and what it will do, whatever the result comes, it will forward to the web application, and web application will do what? It will get the result, and then it will convert that result into the HTML pages or whatever, and put that pages into that, and then it will forward the query and result to the browser of this user or client, and on the browser of the user it will see that result, it will see that news. Just like this, user can do the authentication also, and in the database we can store the information about the user's database, user's authentication informations also. So where you have thousands of users, so you are not able to store it in and manage it in the application, then you can use the database servers. So in the database server, like for example, ID will be there, and then in the next column it will be like username and the name of the user, then in the next column it will be like the password and the password for that user. So whenever the user logs in here with the username and password, so that request will go to the web server, to the application. Now application will do what? It will craft the query here, and it will try to say that it will run the query like select this select this user from this database, from this table, where the password is equal to this. So it will run the query for that user and try to match the password with that the password which is given from this user. Now if the query runs successfully and it gets the result, so what result it will get? It will actually say equal to this or that. So it will do what? In that case it will say true or false. So database server will send the query with the result passing what? True or false. So if it is true, then the application will allow the user to log in. If the database says false, then it will say you are denied. One more thing, these database servers are configured in some server, whether it is configured directly on the web server or it is using a separate server for this database. In both cases, these databases are configured on some kind of operating system, whether it is installed on Windows operating system or Linux operating system, and that operating system calls can also be executed by the database. So database servers can also execute queries for the operating system calls. Operating system calls, that means the command for our operating systems. Command to start the service, stop the service, command to open and close the ports, and whatever else command we have. So all those operating system commands can also be executed by the database server. And for that there is an option called XP underscore shell, command shell. There is some option there which is, if you enable this on the database server, then that option will do what? It can run the commands on the operating system itself. Now that is also not good, because the attacker can send the command of the operating system through the query, and it can execute those commands on the server. On the server, that means the server which is hosting this database. Now this is the basic structure of this database and this web server and web application and web database, and this is how the normal query works. Database server's job is to only provide the information based on the query you sent. It is the job of web application to validate the query, validate the strings. Now SQL injection and server-side technologies. So first, server-side technology. In these powerful server-side technologies like ASP.NET and database servers allow developers to create dynamic data-driven websites with incredible ease. So with the help of these ASP.NET and database dynamic and data-driven websites, so database servers and ASP.NET technologies are available, so developer can develop the dynamic sites for it. Now exploit. The power of ASP.NET and SQL can easily exploited by hackers using SQL injection attacks. Then subtractable database. all relational database, SQL Server, Oracle, IBM, DB2 and MySQL are susceptible to SQL injection attack. These are the different type of database we have, and all of these databases are vulnerable or susceptible to the SQL injection attack. Because it is not a problem of these database servers, it is a problem of application. And attack, that means SQL injection attack, and do not exploit a specific software vulnerability. Instead of that, they target websites that do not follow secure coding practices for accessing and manipulating data stored in a relational database. So it is actually exploiting that vulnerability of not practicing the secure coding. First, understanding the HTTP post request. HTTP post request comes when user sends some data to web server. So when a user provides information and clicks submit, the browser submits a string to the web server that contains the user's credentials. This string is visible in the body of the HTTP or HTTPS post request as SQL query at the database. So like suppose for example user is trying to log into some site, so it will give the username and the password and press submit. So by submitting the data, it is actually user is doing what? Trying to post the data on server. And in the backside, our browser will do what? It will send the post request. And in the post request, you can see sometime the query also. It is like select star from user, where username is equal to this and password is equal to this. And post request will like go, it is like going like post, method is post, username input text input type is text user, text name username, password input type password, name password, and input type submit value load. Now this is the post request query, and it goes on to become this query on application. So user will send the post request through the HTML like this, the browser will send the post query like this, and then when it goes to the web server, web application, it will convert it into this query string, and the information which is provided by the browser and the post request will be filled into this query string, like the username field, like input type text name and username. So this username will be put into this here in this field, and the password will be filled into this password field, and then the query will go on to run on database. So this is the job of application, web application, to convert this post request into the query and send the query to database server. Example of normal SQL query. This is the normal example. Now when we go to some site, we are trying to log in the site, we provide the username and password, and it goes like this. This is the normal query string where you have this server side code. This is bad login.aspx. It is not secure here. It must be secure. So it is like this is the code which is susceptible to the SQL injection. It is saying that string star str query is equal to select count star from where from user, where username is equal to this blank plus text user text plus and password is equal to this. This is also a text password text. That means username and password is going as a text format, not encrypted also. And this query, this string will become query like this: select count from user, where username is equal to this and password is equal to this. Understanding an SQL injection query. Now what attacker do here? Attacker launching an SQL injection here. Now in the previous example we saw what is the query becoming, what query is becoming. So attacker will do what? Attacker will do this. In the username field, it will type the username with this, or is equal 1 is equal to 1, and then these two hyphens. Now these two hyphen means whatever the next thing comes, ignore everything. So what query will become when attacker try to forward this query? So what it will become? It will become like this query: select star from users where username is equal to blah or 1 is equal to 1, and rest of the thing will be hyphen hyphen, and password is equal to this. Now what happened in the server, in the database server, SQL query will be executed like this query will be executed, and after these two hyphens after this code are now comments. That means it is a comment, it becomes like a comment and it will be ignored on the server. So server will feel like this is a database server, not application, web application. Database server feels that this is a comment, and after this double hyphen it will ignore all the characters. So you put anything there, anything for the password, it will be ignored. Now what this query will do? It will do unauthenticated login. That means it will do what? It is saying that the username is this and password is what? 1 is equal to 1. Now 1 is equal to 1 will be always true. So this query will be executed on the database, and the database server will say the result as true. And when the result is true, then the user application feels that the authentication is successful, and it will logged in with the last user logged in. Previous user logged in, it will logged in with the previous user account, last login account, or if the username is right, then it will log in with that username. Here, before going into more, what I will show you is the database service, how database server works and how it runs the query and show you the results. I have a MySQL database available here. I have installed it. Actually, I installed this WAMP server here on Windows. It gives us the MySQL, it gives us the Apache server, it gives us all those features here in Windows. So it is giving me Apache server, web server, PHP support for the Apache server, and it is giving us two databases services here. One is the MySQL and other one is the MariaDB. MariaDB and MySQL both are the database services for the small kind of database. Right now it is MySQL selected, so I'll show you this. I will go to the console, command console. We can manage this graphically also, or graphically we don't run the queries. Graphical, that means we have a graphical interface. Let me show you the graphical interface. I will go to this PHP MyAdmin. And log in as a root. I don't have any password. Now this is a graphical interface designed on PHP. You can see the URL here. It is saying index.php. That means the technology, the web designing is used, the technology uses .php. So these pages, web page you see, it is actually designed on PHP. So what it is doing here, it is giving me the graphical interface to manage the database. We have these databases available here. If you see this, these are the databases we have. If I click some of them, so in this database I have these different tables here. These are different tables available in this database. If I select these user tables, so I can see on this user table I have these different users. I can do edit, I can do copy, delete, all these things. Now this is a graphical interface, we can do it graphically. But applications do what? These web applications do run the query of command. It runs the queries of command line queries on the database server. Now for that, I will run the console of command. It is saying which user you want to log in. I am logging as a root administrator. And it is asking the password, so it is not having any password. Enter. Now here I am on the MySQL command console. So the query which I am going to run here, it is the query which applications web developer develops the query. These queries they design on their web application to run the query on these web servers. For example, I want to see the databases, so I will run command show databases, and I have to end the query with the semicolon. Now it is showing me what? These are the databases available here. Very simple. What you have to do, you have to run the command, query command, and it will show you the information. Now for example, I want to see this WordPress database. I want to see what is inside this. So for using a database, we will give command use database name. So the name for this is WordPress and end with semicolon. Now it is saying the database is changed, and now we are under the WordPress database. Now here I will say show tables. So in the database we have tables. Now we can see all these tables are there. These are all tables I have. Now I want to see what is inside this table. Now for checking this, I will show what I will do first. Describe command. I will say describe this table. Now describe this table means what? The name of the table means what? It will show what are the columns and rows we have. Now this is important to get the information. So in this table, this is the table. You can see it is a table here where we have the fields. These are the fields we have. We have ID. We have user login. We have user pass. We have user nickname, email, URL, registered, activation, status, display name. These are the different fields of these database we have. And in these all fields, what values we can add? So we can add these. We can add these values. We can add, like for the user status, we can add integer value. Integer value, that means numerical value. Numerical value till 11. 11 numerical numbers we can add as a user status. For user ID, we can add big init. Big init we can add up to 20, and that is also unsigned. Then for user login, we can add the varchar. Varchar, that means variable character, and the characters, that means we can add A, B, C and whatever, and we can add up to 60 characters. So this is the limit of this. And what we are saying, we are just saying describe this table, and it is describing about this. Now for example, I want to get some information from this table. So I will say select star. Now star means all. I want to see everything from this table. Now what it will do, it will show me everything. Whatever information in this table is there, it is going to show me everything. Now what it is showing, the screen is getting small. Now what it is showing here, that these are the ID numbers we have. ID number 1, 2, 3, and the user login name is admin CEH user 1, CEH user 2. This is the user login name. User password. Now you see the password is actually there, but it is hashed, it is encrypted. We can see the password hashes also. Then we can see the status of the user. It is 0 value. Status value is set to 0. Display name is this, admin Jason Brown, John Albert. Nickname is this, that is the login name, admin CEH user 1, CEH user 2. This is the email address. This is the URL. URL is not there. User registered date, user activation key. So all this information I'm seeing this here. Now I said what? I said I select star from this table. That means it is showing all the information. Let's say I want to see some particular information. So what I will do? I will say select star from this table where ID is equal to 2. Now what it will do? This query will do, check the table and it will show me only the line, only the row which contains the id is equal to 2. Now for doing this I need to know the column names. These are the column names: id, user login, password and all, and nickname, display name. So if I know this, and I know this by describing the table, so I want to know that in this table I want to know the information which has id number 2, and now it is showing this, that this is id 2 and this is the information about that user. So what query I did, I run this query. Now what this query is, it is saying the command to run the query, like I want to see, select, then what you want to do, what you want to select, how many count you want. It is actually the count. When I say star, that means I am saying all. Now from, this is the table name, then where is giving to condition. This is the condition you can give. So this is the condition. Now you see what is attacker doing. Now attacker is also doing the same thing. The query is not designed here. Attacker is not sending the query. The query is actually designed on the web application and designed by the web developer. It is designed by the web developer that when someone sends this value, so this value will be added here with this query, and the query will be executed, will be sent to the web server. So what the attacker doing here, attacker is sending the value here with this, and or it is using the, in the condition field, it is saying that where is the condition value. So it is saying condition is username and is equal to, the condition is this blah, that means username must be this. But attacker is doing what, it is adding the this is what joining operator, it is using the operator here. This or is an operator, and, or, else, these are the operator here to join the query. So what it is doing here, it is joining two conditions here. So this query when runs on the database, so it has to say what, whether the username is matching or not. What attacker is doing here, attacker is adding the extra operator here, and it is saying that 1 is equal to 1. So whether the user is this or 1 is equal to 1. Now or condition, this or operator means what, if this else this, this means what, it will first check this condition blah, and if it is not matching, then it will go for the next condition. Now if the first condition matches, then it will not go for the next condition. This is how the or work, this or operator work. So it checks the first condition which will not match because the username is not right. So it will go for the next condition, and next condition says 1 is equal to 1, and 1 is equal to 1 is always become true. So the database server will say it is true, it will give the query, it will give the result as true. And after that attacker is adding what, this two hyphens. Now this 2 hyphen means the rest of the part will be ignored as a comment. So in any programming language, comments will never be executed. Comments will be taken as a comments, they will not be executed. So with the help of these queries, attacker can do lots of things. It can do create something, it can do edit something, it can do update something, or it can do delete something. For creating or for creating, the command is insert. For select, for seeing, for showing, command is select. For deleting, the command is delete. For creating, the command is create. Let me show you something. Like suppose I want to create a whole database, a new database. So I can create like this, create database. Let's say I want to create database as a site. Now you see the database is created. You can check by giving the command show databases. So this is the database which I created, and in the database if you want to create something, so if you want to create a table, so you can create a table by first using the database. So use this database, it is selecting the database, then you can create table. For example, I want to create a table called uh, accounts. I want to create a table of account. Now when you mention the table, you have to mention the table columns also. You have to mention what are the columns you want to have in this table, and also what values you want to have in this table. So the name for the table will be accounts, and in that I want to have a name. No, I will go for first IDs, and those IDs will be integer. Integer value can be 10. Then I am saying I want to have names, and names will be var character. Var and I want the value till only 20. Then I can have a password, and this will be also I want var character up to 30. So after this I give the last column this bracket to close this bracket, and semicolon. Now it is effected. So when you see show tables, we can see the table which we created, and in the table what columns we have. For that we can say describe. Sorry, spelling mistake. Spelling mistake. I actually gave two O's here. I did the spelling mistake here. So it is now describing the table, and what it is showing that we have the columns of ID, name and password, and it supports these values. So if I want to add something into this, so I will say insert. Insert into which table. So I want to insert into this table, and what I want to insert, so I want to insert ID will be 1, then the name will be I can say Katie, password will be Apple. So according to the columns we have, I am giving the values for those columns. And again I am getting an error. What it is saying, a syntax error. It is a syntax error. So we have to mention what insert into account, and the values will be this. So values, that means the values which we want to enter into the table. So this will be the values. This is for the ID, this is for the name, and this is for the password. What I said, Katie in the field list, unknown column. Okay, actually when you mention the integer, then you can mention directly the number, but when you are mentioning the varchar or character, you have to quote it. You have to quote your values, otherwise it will not take it, because these are var character. These var characters must be quoted. These var characters must be quoted, the numbers will not be quoted. Remember this thing because it is also work on query in SQL injection. These codes are there. So if you don't give these codes, then it will be a problem. And now it is added. So now when I want to see what I did, I will go for select star. From that means I want to see all. From the account table, and it says that this is the information I added. We can add more informations. We can add more names, like password will be test, username will be Don, and ID will be 2. One more information, I will add one more user information. Password will be alpha, user will be Steve, and ID will be 3. Now when you check, it says that these informations are there. And if we want to check something, so what you will send the query like select, I want to see everything from table name, and then I will put the condition where ID is equal to 1. So it shows one information here. Now what I did here, I run the next query as select star from accounts, where the name is equal to this admin. Now admin is not there. Remember, admin is not in the table. And I join this condition with OR. I give OR operator here. Now OR operator is doing what? It is saying that if this is okay, then run it, otherwise run this, the next condition. Now next condition is saying that 1 is equal to 1. Now 1 is equal to 1 means what? It is true. And when it is true, what it is doing here, it is showing all star from this table, and what you see here is the information about all the users. If suppose the first condition matches, if I give the right username here, again what it will do, the second condition says it is true, and what it do here, it actually executes this whole table. If you do not give like this, if you give only one user, it shows only the information about that particular user. It is not showing the whole table. But attacker is doing what? It is adding one more condition with using OR operator. It is joining this condition with the new condition with this existing one. And when this query executes on the database, it will dump all the table information, and attacker will get information about all the table. Because the query is executed, the database job is to just provide the information. Attacker can delete some queries, some entries from here. It can say that delete, it can delete something, like it can say delete from this or delete from that, from this table or that table, or suppose it can delete a single entry, or maybe it can delete the whole table also. So it can delete the whole table, or maybe it can delete a particular entry. It can delete the whole table also. For deleting, what it will do, it will give command delete. It will say delete from the table name, and then it will say the condition. It will say where, let's say id is equal to 2. Okay. What it is saying, tables I account does not exist. Again I did wrong the name. It is accounts, spelling mistake. And what it did here, it deleted the entry of this second user, this id of number 2. So when we see the table here now, select star from the table. Now you see number 2 id is not there. That information is deleted. Even it can delete the whole table also. For deleting the whole table, it will run a drop command, actually dropping the table. Dropping the table means it is actually deleting the table. For that, it will just run the drop command. It will run drop table. The table name is this, which I created. I think the spelling is right. And now what it did here, it actually deleted the table, the whole table with all its entries. Show tables. Now there is no table here because I deleted the table. So even attacker can delete the whole table. It can delete some entries. It can see the entries. It can run these queries like this. It can inject these queries. It can do what? It can even update the records. For updating the records, the command is update. Now this is how the query works on this database. Now using this kind of queries, attacker do what? Attacker do multiple things. So what it is doing here, for example, this query, this is the thing which is doing here in this example. So what it is doing here, it is using this query string as an example here, which I saw. And after this, when it gives this two hyphens, that means whatever it says, it goes out. It will not be read by the database. And result for this query will be the whole table. That means it will get the information about the whole table it will get. And it will get the information of the whole table. It will get all the IDs, all the usernames, passwords, everything. So how it is working here? Attacker is adding this additional query into it by adding the operator OR. Understanding an SQL injection query code analysis for analyzing of codes. So a user enters a username and password that matches a record in the user table. A dynamically generated SQL query is used to retrieve the number of matching rows. So the user is then authenticated and redirected to the requested page. So when the attacker enters this blah colon blah code or 1 is equal to 1 and hyphen hyphen, then the SQL query will look like this, and you can see the query will look like this. Says select star from users where username is equal to this. Now if you see what it is doing here, it is adding a fake name here, and then it is including OR operator, and then it is making this extra condition here, and then this will become like this, and password is equal to whatever, because it is giving blank. Now because a pair of hyphens designated the beginning of a comment in SQL, the query simply becomes like this. And the string query, it will go like this: select star from user where user is equal to this plus the text which is sending from here, and password from this, text password from sending from this, from the web page. And one more thing, these codes are also important. The codes which we are giving is also important. Now how it is important, those codes, how it is important. So how it is working here, this is our application server, web application server, and this is our database server. Now when the user logs in, what user gives username and password. Remember, when the web application developer develops the application, so it designed the query, it added this query into its application, and in that query you can see the query is there. It is saying select star from the username table. Okay, it is not full, let me add one more. Now this is like the query. So what it is saying here, select star from this table accounts where the username is equal to this and the password is equal to this. So what it do here, when the user gives here the information, like it says my username is I say Catty, so it say my username is cat and my password is 123. Now it is not sending any query from here. This values will be sent to the web application server. Now what web application server, this web application do, it will add these field into this query, add these fields into this query here. So it will add this in this place, in the username, in this code it will add cat here, and in the password field where the codes are already there, in this application we are not giving codes here, the codes are already configured here, and the password will be added here into this code, and then this query will be executed on database server. Now database server will check the query. It says okay, in the table if the username column has the username cat, and in the password column if the password is this, then you are allowed to log in. So it will say you are allowed, and then this web application will give this user authenticate, and the user will be authenticated, and it will get the access of the pages which this user is wanted to access. So this application will start giving the access of those pages which this user wants to access. Now what attacker do here? Now attacker do here what? It will add the random name here, like it says my name is what? Cat. Now the codes are important here. Now what it will do here, after this cat it will add the code here. Now what this code do, it will come under these two codes. Remember, the first code is already there, this code is already there in the query string. Now it is adding one more code. Now this code will do what? It will close the name here, where character. Now it will add one more the combine operator here, or, and then what? It will add this 1 is equal to 1. Now remember, in the database we have seen just right now that if we mention value, if we mention in the table, if we mention the value is var character, then we can't use it like this, we can't give it the numbers. It will always accept var character, and var characters must be under the quote, and if the values are set as integers, then we can give it directly these numbers. So because it is a username field, in the username column it always be the var_char character, and it must be enclosed with these quotes. So when you give this 1 is equal to 1, it will also fail. So we have to make this as a var_char. So we will send this number 1 value as a var_char character, or we code this. Now we have to code this 1 from the both side, then equal to, this is again an operator we are using here, and then we have to close this one also by 2 quotes. But what attacker will do? Attacker will add only 1 quote, because the second quote is already there. Now if it wants to ignore the password also, so what it will do, it will add 2 quotes, and then it will add this one more option. This is what? Comment. So this whole query will fit into this place. So it will start from here, the quote, and then it will go like this cat, then the quote will be closed, then it will mention one operator, then it will mention 1 is equal to other operator, it will mention 1 again, and then it will mention this colon colon, and after that this second quote will work. So the whole query will come under this. And now what it becomes here, this colon colon will do what? It will take these other things as a comments. That means after this colon colon comes here, this whole part will become like a comment. So no matter what option, what password you give here, it does not matter, because the whole thing which come into this, the password you will give here, it will still go here, it will still add it here. But what happened, because of these two quotes, two hyphens, what happened, the rest of the part will be ignored by the database server. It will be ignored by the database server because it feels like this is the comment. So the only query will be executed there is this. We can say it is this till here. And what it says here, that select star from accounts where the username is equal to this, or 1 is equal to 1, and 1 is equal to 1 is always true. So what it will do, it will dump the whole table. Or if it is a part of authentication, actually it will authenticate the user also. If suppose the user is matching with this username, if the username is right, then what it will do, it will authenticate the user also without any password. So this is the whole funda of these SQL injections. Now, example of web app vulnerable to SQL injection. This is a bad code. So vulnerable because it is doing what? It is adding this as a simple query and it is not validating here. Basically it is not validating here. And because of not validation, the attack happens in this field. This page displays the product from the Northwind database and allows user to filter the result, resulting list of products using a text box called text filter. So in the web page there is a text box, it is called text filter there. So it shows the product information, list of products, and with the list of products it has a text filter. So like the previous example, what in the bad login, this code is vulnerable to SQL injection attack. The executed SQL is constructed dynamically from a user supplied input. So basically when the user supplied the input, the query will be created based on that input. The input which is sent by the user, and the input which is sent by the user will be added here in these empty, in the place of this where it is showing plus here under the quotes. So if it is like this, then it is vulnerable and it can execute all the queries directly on server or web database. Then one more example of web application vulnerable to SQL injection, like the attack analysis. We can see the attack analysis here. Like this is what the page where you can search for the product. There is a field here, search field. Now attacker do what? Attacker launch the SQL injection here in this search field. It will add the query like this, blah code and union select 0, username password 0 from user and colon colon. And now what it will do, usernames and passwords are displayed. It will display all the usernames and password. Why? Because the query will be executed like this. Select product ID, then product name, quantity path, unit price from product, where product name like this. Here the SQL query injected here. Blah, first quote is already there. It is adding the second quote here, and then it is adding the union query, select 0, username password 0 from users. So from the users table it is trying to do what? Trying to get 0 0. You can see the unit price is 0 0 here it is showing, and rest of the comments will be ignored. Again, for updating the table, remember I said for updating the table, it will use the update command here. So it can also update the table by using the SQL injection. It will do what? Attacker will launch in the field of like whatever input is, suppose this site is adding the accepting the input for email addresses. Now if it is not validating it, it wants to have email addresses, only it should have email address, nothing else. But if it is not validating it and it is accepting these queries here, query strings here, so attacker will inject like this blah, and then it is closing it here, then it is saying update. It is running the next command after the query here. Like email address, it is saying blah, and then after semicolon the next query will be executed, and it is saying update this table, set this email address where email is this. So it is changing the email address of some user. It is saying select this is the normal query, select this members where the email is equal to this. Now attacker did what? Add this blah here. First quote is already there, it added the next quote, and then after that it added this colon, a semicolon. After the semicolon, what happened? The first query will finish here and the next query will execute. It's saying update the value of email address of this info to this attacker's email address, and rest of the thing should be ignored, and then it is closing the query here. So this query will do what? It will update the email address from some user to other user. Adding new records. For adding the new record, attacker can use the insert command. So as we saw in the database commands, what is here it is doing, again it is closing the first query here, that email address query, and then inserting the next query saying insert into this with this new informations, and it is adding this. You can see here the first query is ending here after blah, and then it is saying insert into this table, and it is adding the values of this table of this, like GB email, GB password, GB this, and the values will be this. So first it is mentioning these values must be added, and what values should be added into that row and that column. So these are the values which is going to add into that columns. Email address hello Jason Springfield. Now, so for this, attackers should know a simple query strings. Then example of identifying the table name. Now for checking the table name, what it will do here, again in the same field, what it is doing here, adding blah quote, and then what it is doing, it is combining the query with this operator, and operator will do what? It will combine these two queries, and where it is saying one is equal to select the count, it is like a star, select a star from my table. So what it is doing here, you will need to guess table names here. Now what is the problem in this type of query? It is like we have to guess the table name. That means we don't know what is the table name, so we have to guess the table name here, and if it is successfully run, then you can see the information about the table. You will see the whole table information. So first query, it is designed on the web application, and that will end here on blah, and the next query with combined with and it will add this query. And what it will do, it will dump the whole table and the information from the whole table. And for deleting the table, just I said, for deleting the table you just need to run the command drop table and the table name. So again it is adding this here blah and quote close and then semicolon to complete the first query, and then the next query will be drop table and the table name credit card. So the first query will end here, and then second query says that delete the table credit cards. So it will delete the table from this database. Now types of SQL injections we have. We have error based SQL injection and we have blind SQL injection. Now error based, we have these injections like union SQL injection, system stored procedure, tautology, end of line comments, or illegal logically incorrect queries. In the blind SQL injection we have time delay and Boolean exploitation. First, error based SQL injection. Now, error-based SQL injection forces the database to perform some operations in which the result will be an error. This exploitation may differ from one database to the other database, because the different databases handles the query differently actually. So it may be different from one database to other database. For example, consider the SQL query here. It says select star from products where the product table is equal, the product name is equal to ID product is equal to ID product. It is giving the variable here. Now consider request to a script who execute the query above. So this query will be executed like this. It is going like this. ID is 10. So the malicious request would be for X Oracle 10G. This is for Oracle 10G database. And what it will become here? It will become like util integer get host name select user from dual. Now in the example, the tester concatenates that value 10 with the result of the function util in address dot get host name. This Oracle function will try to return the host name of the parameter passed to it, which is other query the name of the user. So when the database looks for the host name with the user database name, it will fail and return an error message like this: host Scott unknown. Now by this, then the tester can manipulate the parameter passed to get host name function, and the result will be showing the error message. So actually it is sending the error and trying to get the username here, and by this it will say the username that host Scott unknown, and by this it can get the username, and after that it will convert this query into get host name function. Then we have system stored procedures. Attacker exploits the database's stored procedure to perpetrate their attacks. End line comments, that means after injecting code into a particular field, legitimate code that follows is nullified through uses of end of line comments, and that is what this end of line comments, it is called end of line. Two hyphens, basically it is what end of line comments. So after that everything will be ignored. Illegal or logically incorrect queries. An attacker may gain knowledge by injecting illegal logically incorrect requests such as injectable parameters, data types, names of tables, etc. Tautology means injecting statements that are always true so that queries always return result upon evaluation of a where condition. And like this, which we have seen, like 1 is equal to 1 and 1 is equal to 1 will always be true. Even user will not pass, the attacker will not pass the name for here. It will say only quote, no name, or 1 is equal to 1. So 1 is equal to 1 will always be true. Union SQL injection. Union select is also a statement. This statement returns the union of the intended data set with the target data set. So when you say select name, phone number, form, users ID, where 1 union all, select credit card numbers 1 from credit card table, so it will return all the information of the credit card number table, and that means what, all the credit card numbers of the users. Now Union SQL injection, that means this technique involves joining a forged query to the original query. So union means joining two queries. So what it do here, result of forged query will be joined to the result of the original query, thereby allowing to obtain the values of fields of other tables. Example, we can see the query here says select name, phone, address from users table where ID is equal to this. Now set the following ID value. It will set the ID value like this, and it will add union all select credit card number 1 from credit card table. Now the final query is shown as like this. It will shown like this: select this from user where ID is equal to 1. Then union, it says all select credit card number 11 from credit card table, and the our query joins the result of the original query with all the credit card users. So the query for the first query, a result for the first query will come, and also it will show the query for the next, the result for the next query also. It says union all. Then blind SQL injection. Blind SQL injection, that means it is like the name suggests, it is blind. First is no error message, where blind SQL injection is used when a web application is vulnerable to an SQL injection, but the result of the injection are not visible to the attacker. So it is not visible. Attackers trying to inject the queries, but the results are not showing here. Now, generic page in blind SQL injection is identical to a normal SQL injection, except that when an attacker attempts to exploit an application rather than seeing a useful error message, a generic custom page is displayed. Remember, if the application developer has developed the custom pages, custom error pages, so it will not show the result of queries. It will always show what? It will always show the custom pages. Now when it is seeing the custom pages, that means what? It is like a blind SQL injection. We are running the queries, but we are not seeing the result. So what we will see is time intensive. We will see the time actually. It is time intensive. This type of attack can become time intensive because a new statement must be crafted for each bit recovered. But attacker can still steal a data by asking a series of true and false questions through SQL statements. It can still work true and false conditions. Like first, no error message returns. Now because it is not sending any error. Now when we are giving the query, it is not sending any error. So what it will show? It will show actually custom messages. So for example, attacker injects the SQL. SQL injects attacks here. It says Jaggi boy colon quote, and then it will run the one more query, says drop table orders. Now the query says delete the table orders. Now in simple injection, SQL injection, what happened? You will get this result. You will get the result like saying Microsoft OLE DB a provider for this, and this server unclosed questions marked before the character string, and this. But in the blind injection attack, when it is successful, you will see this error page. It is the custom error page. This is not a custom error page. This is the custom error page. In the custom error page, it will show oops, whatever, you are unable to process the request, please try back later. So when the attacker sends a query, in normally, if it is not custom set errors, so it will see this kind of errors. But when it is custom errors, so it will show always like this, whether it is successful or not. Now in the blind injection, attacker can wait for delay, yes or no response. So it says here, in the attacker will do what? It will say, it will add the query. It says if exist. Now it is saying if exist, select star from credit card and wait for the delay of 10 seconds. Now it is adding this query and it is saying wait for delay of 10 seconds. So what? It checks if the database credit card exists or not. Now if it is not, then it will say what? Directly it will say no, directly, without waiting any 10 seconds. Remember, whether the query is successful or not, we will always get this custom error page. So what attacker do? It add this wait for delay command here. Now what this command do? If exists, that means if the database is there, then it will wait for 10 seconds. It will not do anything till the 10 seconds. Now if the database is not there, if it is not existed, then the error comes, and it comes very quickly, directly. So since no error messages are returned, use wait for delay command to check the SQL injection. it sets wait for delay command and wait for the execution's time. So if the database is not there, it will be run directly and you will see the error directly. And if the database is there, if the table is there, then what happen? It will wait for the 10 second. It will sleep for 10 second and then it will give the error. The error will be same because it is a custom page. Now wait for delay time in second. This is just like a sleep wait for specified time. CPU save way to wake database wait. This is the thing, this is the thing, this is the command. And in MySQL it is called benchmark. It is a benchmark function with the minutes option. So it is varies from the database to database. Under the Microsoft SQL Server it is called wait for delay, and under the MySQL database it is called benchmark function. This command runs on MySQL Server like benchmark, and then you will mention how many times and do this. So you will mention how many times and then you will mention what to do with this. Then the next option is Boolean exploitation technique. In this, multiple valid statements that evaluate to true and false are supplied in the affected parameter in the HTTP request. So wherever the HTTP request, where the affected HTTP requests are there, it will send multiple valid statements that will be true or false. Now by comparing the responses page between both conditions, the attacker can infer whether or not the injection was successful. So this technique is very useful when the tester find a blind SQL injection situation in which nothing is known on the outcome of an operation. So it will send multiple queries which will run true or false, like 1 is equal to 1 true, 1 is equal to 2 false, and it will do what? It will compare the response page between both conditions. The attacker can infer whether or not the injection flows successful or not. So it will try to check the responses from the both queries. So it is making the booleans on and off basically. It is called Boolean exploitation technique. And these are the different types of attack we have. These are the different type of SQL injection attacks we have.